My wife dumped scalding coffee on my head because I refused to pay her mom's mortgage again. I thought the burns would be the worst part. Then my 6-year-old said one sentence in court and the whole room went dead. That's when my wife started begging like she'd never met consequences before. Her name is Lauren, our son is Ben, and for years I kept telling myself she was just stressed while she turned our home into a pressure cooker. It started small. A mug slipped past my face when Ben was 2. A plate clipped my shoulder a few months later. Every time, Lauren cried. Blamed hormones, blamed work, blamed her mom's problems. I'm 6'2", she's smaller. People hear that and assume I'm fine. I wasn't. The money fight was always the trigger. Her mom in Scottsdale wanted help, which somehow meant I funded her life like a second husband. New floors, a renovated kitchen, landscaping. Meanwhile, we had our own mortgage and our kids' savings. I finally said no for the last time, and Lauren acted like I'd burned her house down. That night, I'd set my phone on the counter like usual. I told her it was for work. She stopped asking months ago. Ben wandered in, hungry, asking about dinner. Lauren's eyes were already hard. Just admit you don't care about my mother, she snapped. I care. I'm not paying 68 grand, I said. Then she grabbed the fresh coffee pot. Then she turned straight toward me. Then she lifted it, slow and deliberate. Next, the first splash hit my scalp and stuck. After that, the heat rolled down my neck like oil. Then I stumbled, choking, hands clawing for the sink. Next, Ben screamed so sharp it cut through everything. And then Lauren looked at him and said, "See what happens." I ended up in the ER with second-degree burns and a story about being clumsy. The doctor didn't buy it. Neither did my medical chart, which showed a split lip and a fall injury before that. I threw the pamphlets away. I kept the records. I also kept recording, not because I wanted revenge, because I needed proof I wasn't losing my mind. One afternoon, Ben ran in waving a drawing, and Lauren barely glanced up. "Go show your dad," she said. "He has time to play." Another day, after Ben's little soccer game, he asked if she was proud. Lauren didn't even look at him. "You're just like your useless father," she said, always begging for attention. That was the moment something in me went cold. I called a lawyer named Grant. He told me one thing: don't fight back document. So I did. When Lauren got served, she laughed, full-bodied, cruel. "You'll never get custody," she said, loud enough for Ben to freeze mid-spoon. "Judges always side with mothers. Ben's mine." Then she leaned in, smiling. "And every day he's with me, I'll remind him you tried to take me away." 3 months later, we sat in family court. Lauren wore pearls and a sweet little tremble. Her attorney called her the primary caregiver. She talked about lunch notes and bedtime stories. She cried on cue. My lawyer didn't cross-examine. He hit play. The courtroom filled with Lauren's voice, telling my kid he was a failure, telling him I didn't love him, telling him he'd be sent away if he kept whining. Lauren's face drained color. Her attorney started whispering like his life depended on it. The judge asked about my injuries. Grant slid the ER photos forward. Split lip, burns, wrist in a cast. "Accidents," Lauren mumbled. Her mom even jumped up in the back row and started shouting. The bailiff walked her out like she was trash on the curb. The judge's eyes didn't blink. Then the judge asked to speak to Ben privately with a social worker. Lauren hissed. "They're going to poison him against me." 20 minutes later, the judge came back without my son. The silence felt heavy, like everyone was holding their breath. The judge looked straight at Lauren. "Your child asked a question that tells me everything." Lauren blinked. "What question?" The judge didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. "Is mommy going to hurt daddy again?" Lauren's mouth opened and nothing came out. Primary custody went to me, effective immediately. Lauren got supervised visits every other Saturday. Therapy and anger management were court-ordered. Lauren finally cried real tears, sliding off her perfect mom mask. In the hallway, she grabbed my sleeve. "I'll change. Please, don't do this." I peeled her hand off. "You did it to yourself." Outside, Ben ran into me and held on like he'd been practicing for years. "Do I have to go back?" he asked. "Not today," I said. "You're coming home." He nodded once, like that was the only answer he needed. "So, if you were me, would you have stayed quiet longer or pulled the pin sooner?" Drop your take below.